Hey everybody, Zeal Brothers here once again bringing the truth to the old and to the youth. And want to give another story, this one about Singapore. Now many people don't know about Singapore, but Singapore is pretty much a city-state. And it's based in Asia, South Asia. And when you look at Singapore, one of the things that they've done there is they have created a fake news law. Now this may seem like a good idea, but it's a bad idea. What they have essentially done is, if you put something up that they consider to be false, they will put a heading up at the top of your website saying that you're posting lies. Now, people in the US are looking at this because they want to use this. And let me tell you, there's nothing more dictatorial than forcing people to say what they believe to be true is a lie. This is a topic that we've been talking about a lot lately. It has to do with Dave Chappelle. It has to do with the transgender movement. It has to do with any alternative lifestyle movement. It has to do with politics. It has to do with gender roles. It has to do with church. It has to do with church and state. It has to do with COVID. It doesn't matter the topic. There are lots of things that people may consider to be truth. Lots of opinions that people say. Some may be false, right? I think about people who are pushing the idea that socialism is an efficient way to run an economy and that it is good for most people. To me, that's demonstrably false. But I also think it will be a great transgression against somebody's freedom of speech to have to put a heading at the top of their website that I forced to be there that said this website propagates lies. And the lies that they're saying is that socialism is good. For somebody to have to put that against their own better judgment, I can't think of a greater travesty against free speech. Now, other nations, people say, well, those governments can make the laws they want to. And that's because you are a secularist and you haven't really thought things through. But I'm not a secularist. I'm a theist. And more than a theist, I'm a Christian. And more than a Christian, I'm a Bible-believing Christian, and I'm a rational Bible-believing Christian. And when I look at biblical thought, the idea is that government gets its power from God. And if government gets its power from God, human beings have inalienable rights, whether a constitution recognizes those or not. Now, some governments are more moral. And why are they more moral? They're more moral because they accept those human rights that God has given each human being, whether people accept them or not, right? Put it this way. Just because a government legalizes slavery does not mean slavery is moral. It simply means it's legal. It is legal to call your mother on Mother's Day and say, screw you, I hate you. It's legal. But it's immoral if she's been a good mother. It's immoral if she's been a bad mother, because there's no reason to use that day like that. You just be being a jerk and being high-handed, being a jerk. But besides that point, the illustration proves itself. And the point is this. There are things that are immoral, but that are legal. A government establishing a law that takes away people's rights to free speech is itself immoral, because it doesn't recognize the right of a man to express him or herself. Now, some people are going to comment in the comments, and I already had a comment on another video talking about, well, what about when somebody yells fire in a theater? We limit free rights for that, free speech for that. And again, that's a stupid argument, because when you talk about that argument, it is imminent threat. Your speech actually causes imminent violence to somebody else. Real violence, not the emotional violence that some people think about. Me calling you ugly shouldn't be considered violence. But me saying, hey, do this act of violence against this person, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. So when we talk about free speech, we're not talking about the ability to do anything with your speech. Well, we are talking about the ability to express your opinions. And that shouldn't be limited by a government, whether you live in Singapore or the United States.